On South Korea's largest island, Jeju, nature meets culture. And here, we'll meet an American scholar and writer, Anne Hilty. Together, we embark on a unique tour of the island. Our first stop, the Jeju Horse Museum.
So there was a government building on this site in the past.
Located in Seogwipo City, this museum is scheduled to open later this month. Anne Hilty is a scholar and practitioner of health psychology. Originally from New York, these days, Hilty calls Jeju home. Currently, she works with 일하던병원을 organization, which strives to preserve and promote Jeju's unique culture.
안나 힐트 씨가 언어의 문제라든가 외국인들이 박물관을 어떤 관점에서 보는지 이런 부분들에 대해서 의미 있는 지적을 해준 것 같아요. 그래서 그런 부분들을 좀 반영을 해서 앞으로 남은 기간에 보다 좋은 박물관을 만들어갈 생각입니다. 그 안에 있는 그 아기.
As a cultural health psychologist, Hilty says she enjoys helping out in any way she can, all to help the development of her new home, Jeju. Hilty, who loves nature, often hits the trails to explore Jeju. The island, after all, is famous for its walking paths called ole. By walking along the connected paths, Jeju's beauty can be appreciated, from mountains to beaches to villages and to remote places. The ole experience is one of a kind and unrivaled.
I'm really impressed with Jeju's nature in general and the ole system in particular. It's extremely well organized and takes people not only through very natural settings but also through the small villages and many very interesting parts of Jeju.
To capture Jeju's beautiful landscape, Hilty likes to take pictures along the way. Opened officially in September 2007, Jeju's ole walking has become a must-do for global travelers. Currently, there are some 20 ole routes.
This isn't just recreation or leisure, this is actually healing for Korean people, because Korea is still really recovering from so many traumas of the 20th century, and people realize that nature and leisure and healing and companionship are the key to really the next step in Korea's future. Well, I can certainly feel its healing. I've always felt that in nature, but it also connects me really deeply to Jeju and to Jeju society.
The ole path takes people along the south coast of Jeju Island. Surrounding sights complemented by soothing sounds of the sea have a priceless healing power. A common sight along Jeju's coastline is female divers known as Hanya at work.
When I watch them in the water, they remind me of the cormorant, which is a diving bird. That black diving bird and these women in black diving into the water repeatedly are so graceful and so beautiful. And the thing that interests me the most at this point is not only what they can do and what they know about the sea, which is astounding. No one knows the sea like they do because they're in it every day. I think you can't really know Jeju either unless you also know it from the sea. You can't just know it from the land. The sea is so important to Jeju's culture and environment, and the Henya are the key to that.
When out and about, Hilty takes time to meet with the villagers. From them, she learns about the everyday life on the island, as experienced by the locals. These women are busy handling freshly farmed sea urchins.
The research that I do with Jeju people is very important, and if I want to understand them and understand the society and culture here, I have to understand that connection with nature.
맛있죠?
네. 고맙습니다. Tastes like the sea.
Jeju Island is often referred to as Samdado, or the island of three abundance: rocks, wind, and women. Despite development, Jeju's unique geological history is well preserved at this Jeju Stone Park.
It's interesting because the whole island actually is the stone, because the volcano in its eruption and flow created the island, and so actually we're all on top of Halasan in a sense. So the stone is everywhere.
Dol Harubang, meaning stone grandfather, is a symbol of Jeju Island. The basalt statues are considered as gods offering protection and fertility.
The Dol Harubang is a little bit of a mystery. People don't know entirely what it is. There are similar stones that are markers at the gravesite, but it's not the same thing. That's a small guardian boy. So the true meaning of them is not fully known, but of course they have also a deep familial feeling to Jeju people.
Upon returning home, Hilty sits down in front of her laptop to log her observations and findings. Every detail is important and recorded in her writings.
Well, at the end of each day, if I've gone out for field research or accidentally stumbled upon something interesting, I like to recap my thoughts, and that's either, in fact, starting an article, which is what I've just done, or just making notes. But I'm actually writing an article about today's experiences.
These days, Hilty is preparing to publish another book on Jeju, this time aimed at promoting the island's rich culture. With the book, she hopes to share the wonders of the island with global villagers.
I get contacted a lot, actually, especially because of articles that are online and my own blog that's online. Many times people are coming here to do their own research. When they do search on the internet about Jeju, my name pops up a lot. So I get contacted quite a lot by artists and researchers and graduate students who are looking to do their research, and a number of people, reporters, who want to find out more about Jeju. Some of them are coming here, and then I can meet them and help them in their own research as well. And that happens really frequently.
On May 31st, the island hosted its annual Jeju Forum for Peace and Prosperity. At the conference, Hilty met up with the former U.S. ambassador to Korea, Kathleen Stevens. The two had first met a year earlier when Hilty interviewed the ambassador. Since then, they've kept in touch. From Jeju's environment to culture to women's rights, they had much to discuss. The 7th Jeju Forum was held for 3 days under the theme of New Trends and the Future of Asia. This year, Hilty was a presenter for a session on the spirit of Kim Man-duk in the 21st century, titled after the island's famous female merchant who saved her community from famine. The symposium focused on devising ways to increase women's participation in society.
The culture is very fascinating to me. The shamanic aspects, the women-oriented aspects, the deep relationship to nature, the isolation from the mainland, the various hardships that they've had, all of these have come together like a forge inside that volcano to create a very unique culture. And it fascinates me so much that I think I have to stay here forever just to be able to learn as much as possible.
For visitors, residents, and scholars, Jeju's appeal is like no other. Among those promoting the island's rich offerings is cultural health psychiatrist Anne Hilty. Thanks to such dedication, the future of Jeju seems brighter than ever.